Hello, everyone. After the great discussion on our last video, I've been thinking a lot about modern concepts of strength. We see it everywhere. The alpha mindset. This idea of dominance and relentless pursuit of status. But what if it's all a trap? Today, we're diving into a powerful alternative, exploring 5 Stoic principles that build true inner strength. The alpha mindset promises power. It suggests that through dominance and sheer will, you can control your world and earn respect. It's a compelling narrative. This idea is often built on external validation. You are alpha only if others see you as such. Your status is granted by the perception of the crowd, not by yourself. This makes the alpha position incredibly fragile. It's a constant performance, a never-ending battle to maintain a facade of control and superiority. It breeds anxiety. What if you fail? What if someone challenges you? The alpha is trapped in a state of high alert, fearing any sign of weakness. This framework is obsessed with what others think. It prioritizes appearance over substance, posturing over genuine character. It is fundamentally reactive. Let's contrast this with an ancient wisdom, a philosophy forged in the fires of empires, war, and plague. I'm talking about Stoicism. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotion. It's not about being a cold, unfeeling stone. It's about cultivating an inner citadel, a fortress of peace. It's a framework for building resilience that doesn't depend on anyone or anything outside of your own mind. This is where true strength begins. The alpha seeks to command others. The Stoic seeks to command oneself. This is the fundamental, game-changing difference between the two. So, let's explore the first of our 5 Stoic principles. This is perhaps the most foundational idea, the dichotomy of control. This principle is simple but profound. It states that some things in life are within our control, and some things are not. What's in our control? Our judgments, our opinions, our intentions, our actions, essentially our inner world and our responses. What's not in our control? Everything else, the weather, the economy, the actions of other people, our reputation, and even our own health, to a degree. The alpha mindset fixates on controlling the uncontrollable. It tries to force others to respect it, to force outcomes to bend to its will. This is a recipe for perpetual frustration. When you tie your peace of mind to things you cannot command, you become a slave to them. The Stoic, however, focuses their energy only on what they can control, their own choices and their own character. This is liberating. Imagine the mental energy you would save. All the worry, the anger, the frustration, all of it stems from fighting reality. The Stoic accepts reality as it is, not passively, but as the starting point. The alpha rails against it, which is a sign of weakness. True strength is found in differentiating between these two spheres. It's the art of knowing where your power truly lies. This isn't about giving up. It's about strategic surrender. You surrender the fight. You were never going to win the fight against the external. Instead, you redirect all that energy inward. You focus on being the best version of yourself, regardless of the circumstances. The alpha sees a setback as a personal failure, a crack in their armor. Their ego is directly tied to the outcome. The Stoic sees a setback as just ... A setback. It's an external event that has no bearing on their inner worth or character. This first principle is the key to unlocking a stable, internal peace. It's the foundation upon which all other Stoic virtues are built. The alpha is brittle. They can be broken by a bad outcome. The Stoic is resilient. They can bend without breaking. When you practice this, you stop blaming others. You stop complaining about the world. You realize that your happiness is your own responsibility. This is a radical form of accountability. Your emotional state is not the fault of your boss, your partner, or the traffic. It's yours. The alpha projects power outward. The Stoic cultivates power inward. One is a performance. The other is an integrated state of being. Think about how this applies to social status. The alpha needs to be at the top of the hierarchy. Their identity depends on it. The Stoic is indifferent to the hierarchy. Their focus is on acting with virtue, whether they are a CEO or a janitor. This doesn't mean you can't have ambitions. The Stoics were senators, playwrights, and emperors. They were deeply engaged in the world. But their purpose was different. They weren't driven by a need for validation, but by a desire to live a good and rational life. This first principle understanding control is the antidote to the anxiety that plagues the alpha mindset. It's the first step to freedom. You stop trying to manage the impressions of others. You start managing the quality of your own mind. This is a profound shift in focus. The alpha is constantly trying to prove something to the world. The Stoic has nothing to prove, only a life to live. This separation of internal from external is not just a mental trick. It is a deep, philosophical realignment of your entire worldview. It's the difference between building your house on the sand of public opinion or on the bedrock of your own reasoned choice. The alpha house is a house of cards. It looks impressive, but a single gust of wind or criticism, a failure can topple it completely. The Stoics' inner citadel, built on the rock of what's in their control, can withstand any storm. It is a refuge. This principle challenges the very core of the alpha ideal. The alpha ideal is the obsession with the external. It's the fancy car, the status, the dominance. All of these are things that are ultimately outside of our direct and total control. To Stoics, chasing these things isn't strength. It's a form of slavery. You are a slave to the things you crave but cannot guarantee. True freedom is an internal state. It is the peace that comes from knowing you have done your best with what is yours to manage. This is not a passive philosophy. It is an active daily practice of sorting, analyzing, and choosing. You must constantly ask yourself, is this in my control or not? If it's not, you practice letting it go. This mental triage is where the Stoic's energy is spent. It's an internal discipline, far harder than any external posturing. The alpha tries to build a perfect life. The Stoic tries to build a perfect response to life, however imperfect it may be. This is the path to equanimity. It's the ability to remain calm and centered, even in the midst of chaos. The alpha may look calm on the outside, but inside they are often a storm of ego, fear, and desire. It is a fragile calm. The Stoic's calm is genuine. It comes from a deep understanding of what truly matters and what is merely preferred. They prefer health, wealth, and a good reputation, but they do not need them for their happiness. This detachment is the source of their power. They can engage with the world fully, without being destroyed by its whims. The alpha is attached to everything. Their identity is a composite of their car, their job, their social media likes. Take those things away, and the alpha collapses. There is no core, no inner citadel. There is only the facade. The Stoic, in contrast, could lose everything: their wealth, their status, their freedom, and still retain their core identity. Their identity is built on their character, their virtue, their choices, and those are the only things that can never be taken away. This is why the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius could write his meditations while on a cold, brutal military campaign. His peace wasn't dependent on the comfort of his palace. It was dependent on the quality of his thoughts. This is a strength the alpha mindset cannot even comprehend. It is a power that doesn't need to shout its own name. It is quiet, it is deep, and it is unbreakable. It is the antithesis of the loud, brittle posturing we see so often. So, the first principle is a call to revolution. An inner revolution, to stop fighting the world and start mastering yourself. It asks you to redefine what power and control truly mean. Is it dominating others, or is it achieving self-mastery? The alpha path is seductive because it offers quick, visible rewards. Status you can see. Respect you can hear. The Stoic path is harder. The rewards are internal, invisible. It's a quiet sense of integrity and peace. But the alpha rewards are fleeting. Status can be lost. Respect can turn to ridicule. It is a constant, exhausting hustle. The Stoic rewards are permanent. Once you build your inner citadel, it is yours for life. It is a permanent home. The dichotomy of control is the blueprint for this citadel. It shows you where to build and what materials to use. The alpha is trapped. He's a prisoner of his own desires, a puppet of public opinion. He's not free. The practicing Stoic is the only one who is truly free. Their happiness is not on loan from the world. It is self-generated. This is the first crucial step away from the alpha trap. It's the realization that you are looking for strength in all the wrong places. The true battle is not with others for dominance. The true battle is with yourself, for control of your own mind. Now that we have the foundation, the dichotomy of control, we can build upon it. The alpha is obsessed with outcomes. What about the Stoic? This brings us to our second Stoic principle, the primacy of virtue. This is the moral core of the philosophy. For the Stoics, the only true good is virtue, and the only true evil is vice. Everything else is indifferent. What is virtue? It's not a vague, old-fashioned idea. It's a practical, active state. It's about moral excellence. The Stoics defined it through 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Let's look at those. Wisdom is the ability to see the world clearly, to navigate complexity, and to know what is truly good or bad, i.e., virtue or vice. Justice is not just a legal concept. It is the virtue of fairness, kindness, and treating other people with respect and goodwill. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the strength to do what is right, to face reality, even when it is difficult or painful. And temperance is the virtue of moderation. It's about mastering your desires, avoiding excess, and finding balance in all things. For the Stoic, a good life is not defined by wealth, health, or status. It is defined by living a life of virtue. This is in stark contrast to the alpha mindset. The alpha mindset defines a good life by external achievements. The alpha seeks power, money, and social dominance. These are the measures of success. To a Stoic, these are indifferents. They are not bad in themselves. It is preferred to be wealthy than poor, or healthy than sick. But they are not good. They are not good because they have no bearing on your moral character. You can be a wealthy, powerful person and be a terrible human being. Likewise, you can be poor and sick, and yet be a person of incredible wisdom, courage, and justice. Your character is separate. The alpha mindset makes a critical error. It mistakes preferred indifference for the ultimate good. It chases the wrong things. This is why it's a trap. It promises happiness through things that can never deliver it. Status is hollow. Dominance is empty. The Stoic, by focusing on virtue, aligns their life with the one thing they can control, their choices, and the one thing that has inherent worth, their character. This creates an unbreakable sense of self-worth. Your value as a person is not tied to your bank account or your job title. It is tied to your commitment to being a good person. Your worth comes from your intentions and actions, not the results. The alpha needs to win. If he loses a deal or a competition, his ego is crushed. He has failed in his own eyes. The Stoic focuses on playing the game with excellence. The outcome is external. Their win is in how they played. Did they act with courage? Did they act with justice? Did they act with wisdom? If so, they have succeeded, regardless of the outcome. This frees you from the tyranny of results. You can pursue goals with all your energy, but your peace is not dependent on achieving them. This is the source of true confidence. The alpha's confidence is brittle. It's based on a string of recent wins. The Stoic's confidence is deep. It's based on the knowledge that they are trying their best to live a virtuous life. This focus on virtue also transforms your relationship with other people. The alpha sees others as competition. They are obstacles to be overcome, or pawns to be used. It is a worldview defined by conflict and hierarchy. The Stoic, guided by the virtue of justice, sees others as fellow human beings. They are part of a shared community. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we were born for cooperation, that we are like the 2 rows of teeth, working together. This doesn't mean being a doormat. The Stoic virtue of courage demands that you stand up for what is right, but you do so from a place of principle, not from a place of ego or a desire to dominate. You act for the common good. The alpha mindset is fundamentally selfish. It is about me and my status. The Stoic mindset is communal. It recognizes that we are all interconnected. A virtuous life is one that contributes positively to the human community. This is a much more profound and satisfying purpose than simply trying to climb to the top of a social ladder. The Alpha is respected out of fear. The Stoic is respected out of admiration for their character. One is a shallow power, the other a deep authority. Let's think about temperance. The Alpha ideal often promotes excess, relentless hustle, extreme wealth, indulgent lifestyles. The Stoic virtue of temperance is the antidote. It is the wisdom to know what is enough. It is freedom from desire. The Alpha is a slave to his appetites. And eats more power, more money, more validation. He is never satisfied. The Stoic finds satisfaction in simplicity and in mastering their own desires. They are not pulled around by every impulse. This self-control is a form of power the Alpha does not possess. It is the power to say no to your own worst instincts. So, the second principle, focusing on virtue, gives you a new definition of success. Success is no longer an outcome. Success is a process. It is the daily act of choosing wisdom over ignorance, justice over selfishness, courage over cowardice. This is a game you can win every single day. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need a specific result. You just need to align your will with your principles. This is the Stoic path to a good life, or eudaimonia. The Alpha trap keeps you on a hamster wheel. You achieve one goal, and the satisfaction is fleeting. You immediately need the next win. The Stoic path offers deep, lasting contentment. It comes from the quiet, internal knowledge that you are living rightly. This is not easy. It is, in fact, much harder than the Alpha path. It requires constant self-reflection and vigilance. It's easier to posture and blame others. It's much harder to take full responsibility for your own character. But this difficult path is the only one that leads to genuine, unshakable strength. It's the difference between a facade and a foundation. The Alpha is obsessed with having more. The Stoic is obsessed with being more virtuous, more wise, more just. This internal focus is the key. The Alpha looks in the mirror to check his appearance. The Stoic looks inward to check his soul. This shift in priority changes everything. It changes what you fear, what you desire, and how you spend your time. You stop fearing failure, because failure is an external. You start fearing a lapse in your own character. You stop desiring empty status symbols. You start desiring more wisdom and a greater capacity for kindness. This is a life of substance. The Alpha life is a life of shadows. It's chasing reflections in a pool. The Stoic is concerned with the object itself, their own mind. This is where the real work is done. So, we have the dichotomy of control as our map, and the primacy of virtue as our compass. They guide every decision. These two principles work together perfectly. Virtue is the only thing that is both the ultimate good and completely within our control. This is the beautiful, logical core of Stoicism. Your happiness and your worth are tied to the one thing you fully possess: your ability to choose. The Alpha trap, by contrast, ties your happiness to the many things you don't possess and can't control. It is designed for failure. It's a system that guarantees anxiety. The Stoic system, if practiced, guarantees peace. The choice seems obvious, but the Alpha narrative is loud. It's pervasive in our culture. It's hard to ignore. Stoicism is quiet. It is the steady, internal work of building character over a lifetime. It doesn't make for a flashy social media post, but it does make for a good life. A life of meaning, resilience, and a deep, abiding inner peace. This is the strength that endures. It's not the fleeting power of dominance, but the eternal power of a virtuous soul. We've established our foundation. Focus on what you control, and make virtue your highest good. But life is hard. How do we handle pain and adversity? The Alpha mindset views adversity as a threat. It's a challenge to their status that must be crushed. But what if the obstacle is death itself? This leads to our third Stoic principle, a tool for focus and clarity. Memento Mori, or remember that you must die. This isn't a morbid obsession with death. It's a powerful psychological tool for living a better life right now. By keeping the reality of our own mortality in mind, we gain a profound sense of perspective. It strips away the trivial. The alpha is often consumed by petty grievances, social media arguments, perceived slights, status games, office politics. Memento Mori acts like a filter. When you remember your time is finite, these things are revealed for what they are: distractions. Does this argument matter in the face of eternity? Will this status game comfort you on your deathbed? The answer is almost always no. This practice injects an incredible sense of urgency and purpose into your life. You don't have time to waste on things that don't matter. It clarifies your priorities. What does matter? Your character, your relationships, the impact you have on others. The alpha lives as if they are immortal. They chase things money, find that have no value once their time is up. The Stoic, by remembering death, is motivated to live virtuously today. They don't put off being a good person until tomorrow. As Seneca wrote, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Memento Mori is the antidote to wasting time. It's a call to action, to live with intention, to make every day count, to not leave words of kindness unsaid. This perspective is a source of courage. Many of our fears are social fears: fear of embarrassment, fear of failure, fear of rejection. But what is embarrassment compared to the fact of your own non-existence? These smaller fears evaporate in the light of the ultimate one. Memento Mori encourages you to take the right risks, to pursue what is meaningful, even if it's scary. The alpha often plays it safe, protecting their ego. They fear looking foolish. The Stoic fears reaching the end of their life with regret. They fear having lived a life of unreason, as Marcus Aurelius put it. A life spent chasing phantoms. This principle is not about despair. It is about liberation. It liberates you from the tyranny of the trivial. It helps you focus on our second principle, virtue. If your time is short, all you have is the quality of your choices in this moment. This is the Stoics' call to presence. By remembering your end, you are forced to live more fully in the now. The alpha is often lost in the future, planning his next conquest or the past, relitigating his wins and losses. The Stoic understands that the present moment is the only one they truly possess. It is the only field of action. This makes life richer. You appreciate the small things: a conversation, a walk, a moment of quiet reflection. These simple, present moments are the fabric of a well-lived life, not the grand, hollow achievements the alpha chase. So Memento Mori is a tool for focus. But what about when things go undeniably, painfully wrong? This brings us to our fourth principle. This is perhaps the most challenging and powerful Stoic idea: Amor Fati, or a love of one's fate. This is not simple resignation. It's not just accepting what happens. It is an active, affirmative embrace of everything. It is the practice of seeing everything that happens in your life, the good, the bad, and the horrificas, necessary and even good. The alpha mindset resents obstacles. An obstacle is an enemy. It is a flaw in the plan. It creates anger and frustration. The Stoic, practicing Amor Fati, sees the obstacle as the path. The obstacle is an opportunity. An opportunity for what? An opportunity to practice virtue. This is the key. If you lose your job, the alpha sees it as a humiliating defeat. Their status is threatened. They rage against the unfairness. The Stoic sees it as an opportunity to practice courage facing an uncertain future, temperance, managing their fear, and wisdom learning. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This is the art of turning obstacles upside down. The fire that blocks your path becomes the fuel for your journey. This is the ultimate resilience. Nothing can truly harm you, because everything that happens can be used. If someone betrays you, it is a chance to practice justice and forgiveness. If you fall ill, it is a chance to practice patience and courage. This mindset is indestructible. The alpha's strength depends on things going his way. His plans must succeed. The Stoics' strength is revealed when things fall apart. That is when their practice is put to the test. Amor Fati is the final step in mastering the dichotomy of control. You not only accept what you can't control, you love it. You love it because you trust that it is all part of a larger whole, a rational universe, what the Stoics called the logos. Even if you don't share that cosmic belief, you can love it from a psychological standpoint. You love it because it is your life. This is your specific, unique set of challenges. And it is through these challenges that your character will be forged. The Alpha wants an easy life, one where he's always winning. He wants to prove his superiority over a weak world. The Stoic welcomes a difficult life. They want to be tested. They want to prove their character to themselves. Nietzsche, who was deeply influenced by the Stoics, called this the formula for greatness in a human being. To want nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. To not merely bear what is necessary, but tola vitaliano. This is a radical idea. It's not about pretending pain isn't pain. It's about choosing to find meaning and purpose within that pain. The Alpha is broken by suffering. He sees it as a sign of weakness. It might hide it, but it eats at him. The Stoic is built by suffering. They use it as a raw material, like a blacksmith uses fire to temper steel. This is an internal alchemy. It's the power to transform any event, no matter how negative, into a source of strength. The Alpha's power is external. It's about dominating his environment. This is why he is so easily threatened by it. The Stoic's power is internal. It's the power of ascent, the power to choose their response to the environment. This is why the Stoic is truly invincible. Not because they can't be harmed, but because harm cannot break their spirit. They can be imprisoned, like Epictetus, who was a slave, but their mind remains free. The Alpha could be a king, and yet be a prisoner of his own ego, his fears, and his uncontrollable desires. Amor Fati is the ultimate declaration of freedom. It is saying to the universe, bring it on. Whatever you send, I will use. This is a strength that the Alpha mindset cannot even begin to grasp. It is the antithesis of the victim mentality. The Alpha is often a victim in disguise. He blames the world, the haters, the system, for not recognizing his greatness. The Stoic takes 100% ownership. This is my fate. This is my material. My job is to act virtuously in response to it. This is the source of profound peace. You are no longer at war with reality. You are aligned with it. You move with the grain of the universe, not against it. There is no more friction, no more resistance. Memento Mori gives you focus. Amor Fati gives you resilience. Together, they are a powerful combination. They create a mindset that is not only strong, but joyful. A joyful acceptance of fate, as the Stoics would say. This is a far cry from the anxious, angry, striving energy of the Alpha trap. It is a deep, quiet, confident power. We have 4 principles: the dichotomy of control, the primacy of virtue, Memento Mori, and Amor Fati. This builds an incredible inner fortress, but there is one final principle that ties it all together. It's a practice that fosters humility, empathy, and perspective. This is our 5th Stoic principle. Sympathia, or the view from above. It's a cosmic perspective. This is a meditation practice. You visualize yourself zooming out. You see yourself in your room, then in your city. You keep zooming out. You see your country, your continent. You see the entire earth, a small blue marble spinning in the vast, silent dark. You see the whole solar system. You see our galaxy, the Milky Way, just one of billions. You see the immensity of space and time. From this vantage point, this view from above, what happens to your problems? What happens to your ego? The Alpha mindset is inherently narcissistic. It is hyper-focused on the self, my status, my goals, my problems. This self-focus is the source of much anxiety. It magnifies every little issue into a life-or-death crisis. The view from above shatters this illusion of self-importance. It shows you how small you are and how small your problems are. This is not meant to be depressing. It is meant to be liberating. It frees you from the prison of your own ego. That alpha status you've been fighting for, from space, it is completely invisible. It is meaningless. That petty argument you had with a colleague, it's a microscopic disturbance on a tiny speck of dust. This perspective cultivates humility. It reminds you that you are not the center of the universe. You are a part of it. This connects to the Stoic idea of sympathia, the idea that all things are interconnected, woven together. You are not an isolated alpha competing against everyone else. You are a leaf on a tree, a cell in a body. This is the foundation for the Stoic virtue of justice. You treat others well because you realize they are part of you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." Your own good is tied to the common good. The alpha mindset is a me versus them philosophy. It is built on separation and conflict. The Stoic mindset is a we philosophy. It is built on connection and cooperation. This is a far more mature worldview. The view from above also helps you practice Amor, Fati. It helps you accept your fate by seeing it as one small part of a vast, cosmic plan. You see that time stretches infinitely backward and infinitely forward. Your entire life is but a brief moment in infinity. This helps you endure hardship. This, too, shall pass. Your suffering is temporary, a fleeting note in a grand symphony. It also helps you appreciate the good. Your moments of joy are precious precisely because they are so fleeting. This cosmic perspective is the ultimate antidote to the alpha ego. The alpha builds his ego up. The Stoic dissolves it. The alpha seeks to be more than others. The Stoic seeks to be one with all. This is the difference between a fragile sense of superiority and a deep, humble sense of belonging. The alpha feels isolated. It's lonely at the top. He's surrounded by competitors, not brothers and sisters. The Stoic, even when alone, feels connected to all of humanity, to all of nature, to the cosmos itself. They are never truly alone. This is the inner citadel, fully realized. It is a mind that is at peace with itself and with the world. So let's review these 5 principles. They are the true alternative to the alpha trap. First, the dichotomy of control. Focus only on what is yours, your mind, your choices. Let go of the rest. Second, the primacy of virtue. Make your character your highest good. Redefine success as living with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Third, Memento Mori. Remember death. Use this reality to strip away the trivial and focus on what truly matters right now. Fourth, Amor, Fati. Love your fate. See every obstacle, every pain, every setback as a necessary and perfect opportunity to practice virtue. Fifth, the view from above. Zoom out. Cultivate humility, perspective, and a deep sense of connection with the whole. These 5 principles, practiced together, create a form of strength that is quiet, resilient, and profound. It's not the loud, brittle strength of the alpha. That is a facade, built on the sand of external validation. It is the inner strength of the Stoic, a fortress built on the bedrock of reason, virtue, and acceptance of reality. The alpha trap promises power, but delivers anxiety. The Stoic path demands discipline, but delivers freedom. The alpha is a slave to his ego, his desires, and the opinions of others. He's not free, no matter how much power he accumulates. The practicing Stoic is the only one who is truly free. Their peace is self-generated. Their strength is internal. This is not a quick fix. It's not a mindset hack. It is a philosophy for life. It is a daily, moment-to-moment practice. It's the work of a lifetime. The work of building your own character. The work of mastering your inner world. This, to me, is a far more compelling, durable, and meaningful vision of strength than the shallow alpha ideal. It's a strength that doesn't need to perform. It doesn't need to dominate. It doesn't need to shout. It is the quiet, unbreakable strength of a mind that is at peace with itself and at one with the universe. This is the Stoic alternative, a path not to dominance over others, but to mastery over oneself. It's a path to real confidence, not a brittle ego. A path to real purpose, not a hunt for status. It's about building a life of substance, not just appearance. A life of virtue, not just victory. The alpha mindset is a trap. Stoicism is the key that unlocks the door. It's an invitation to stop fighting the world and to start building your inner citadel. A fortress that no external event, no person, and not even death itself can ever truly conquer. That is the strength of the Stoic. That is the strength that lasts. Ultimately, the Stoic path isn't about dominance. It's about inner freedom. It's a quiet, unbreakable strength. What do you think? Is the alpha trend more of a trap than a tool? I'd genuinely love to read your perspective in the comments below. Thank you for your time today. I'll see you in the next one.